Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be going through my priority TBR for 2022. Can you believe it's 2022? That's like, no, that's wrong. Anyway, so these are 10 books that I want to get to in 2022 that did not come out in like 2021 or 2022. Some of them I think came out in 2020, but yeah, so that's the rule I have set for myself. So yeah, so it's 10 books and I want to get to them this year. Will I succeed? Well, that's a whole other question, isn't it? So the first of my backlist priority TBR is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. So I have read Spinning Silver, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars, and I have also read A Deadly Education, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars. And I'm a little nervous about Uprooted because people seem to love either Spinning Silver or Uprooted, and I obviously really enjoyed Spinning Silver. So I'm like, am I gonna hate this one? I'm really hoping not. I don't really know what this is about. I think it follows girls who are like sacrificed and then they come back a couple of years later and it's kind of like everything is fine, and then I think our main character wants to figure out what the hell is happening, and I think it's kind of like is it like a Beauty and the Beast retelling? I can't remember. It's some sort of retelling, I believe. So then number 2 is going to be Ninth Rain, which this is 100% because of Elliot Brooks, because she talks about it non-stop. I don't even really know what it's about. She kind of just talks about there's like monsters who feed on blood, and that's all I really know. She just really loves it and has been talking about it basically non-stop all year. There's 3 books in the series, I believe, and I'm just like, okay, give it to me, I suppose. Yeah, it's supposed to be just a really fascinating world building, really interesting characters, and I'm here for that. That sounds good to me. Then number 3 is a more recent release, and that is Mask of Mirrors by Emma Carrick, which is a duo. I need to read this. I think it came out in 2020, I think. And the sequel came out in 2021, and they're currently writing the 3rd book. And I have not seen, I think, a single like really bad review for this. It has been all 4 and 5 stars. And Sarah from Voyage Through Words, she has recently reread the 1st book before she read the 2nd one, and she just loved it. Like, she adored it. Like, and I'm like, okay, I need this. I need it so bad. And I believe that it follows a woman who's like a con woman, and she is trying to trick this house into believing that she is like a member of the family. But they are broke, and so they are on edge, and so obviously not the best time to try and swindle anyone. And then, as far as I know, there's a couple of perspectives, but there's also a masked vigilante, and we don't know if any of the perspectives might be the masked vigilante. And I'm like, okay, that is, I need it. And number 4 is going to be Traitor's Blade by Sebastian D. Castell. I talked about this in my authors I want to read from. I need to read some of Sebastian D. Castell because Jade from Jade Reads absolutely adores his books, and I have not read any yet. And me and Jade have very similar reading tastes, like V. Schwab, don't love V. Schwab, don't love Robin Hobb, don't love the Course of Dragons series by Jen Lyons, and Winter Night Trilogy, and all of that. And we also agreed on the Witchland series up until Witch Shadow, but we don't talk about that. So I need to read her favorite series of all time. I need to read it. And so, yeah, so Traitor's Blade is going on the list, and I believe that like companion series to The Great Coats is coming out either this year, either in 2022 or 2023. So what better time to read them than now? Number 5 is going to be Jade City by Fonda Lee. The final book has just come out, and so obviously there is a whole load of hype about it. And also the Illumicrate Jade City sets were just like sent out and all of that, and I saw Rowan from On Wandering Through Worlds set. Oh my god, they are so beautiful. They are some beautiful books. I'm just getting the normal paperbacks, but they are beautiful books, so I'm jealous. And I'm very excited to read them. I know it follows a crime family, and that is all I need to know. It follows a crime family, and Jade gives you like powers, and then people are figuring out ways to yield Jade without being able to, and it's causing a lot of problems, and I'm very interested. I know that it's actually a lot slower than a lot of people think, and a lot more like behind the scenes of politics and all of this, and like, you know, action, you know, fighting, all of this. And that actually sounds very much like it's up my alley. So number 6 is going to be Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. I believe this was his first novel, though I could be wrong. Either way, it was definitely one of his first, and people have very mixed feelings, I think, on it. A lot of people do really love it and say even though it doesn't have like typical Brandon Sanderson writing style, you can definitely like see the greatness and all of that. And some people prefer it from some of his newer works. And so I'm very interested in where I will fall on that. I know that it is currently a standalone, but there's supposed to be more books. It's kind of like a zombie-like thing where there's people and they get sent to this city. And I think there's some sort of an arranged marriage, but like the prince is like basically dead and sent to the city. I think, you know, they have to figure that out. Then number 7 is Middle Game by Sean McGuire. Again, this is another one that is completely influenced by other people, and this is definitely because of Rowan from Wandering Through Worlds. It's one of her favorite books of this year, along with Black Sun, which I have already read Black Sun. So I need to read Middle Game now, and I am a little worried because it's like very weird, it's very timey-wimey, and I'm concerned that I'm not going to like it because of all that stuff. But I'm also like, I could love it because of that stuff. It all depends on how it's done. I do know this follows twins, Roger and Dodger, and they are like separated at birth basically, and they have different kind of abilities. So one of them is very good with maths, one of them is very good with languages, and the person behind this kind of experiment wants to harness their powers and make himself a god. And there is a sequel coming out this year, but it's more like a companion novel, I believe. It is definitely one that has mixed opinions about it, but I want to give it a go. I want to see where I fall. Number 8 is going to be Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. I have recently read 2 Neil Gaiman books, Neverwhere and Stardust, and I want to read more of his books anyway, and I also want to start reading some Terry Pratchett, but like, there's so many books there. And so I was like, probably the best place to start is Good Omens, because I have watched the TV show, I have really liked it, I like the vibe and the humor of it, and so I'm like, that is probably a good place to start because I will be like, you know, mixing it with Neil Gaiman, it'll be familiar, and I'm hoping I will enjoy it. So this follows an angel and a demon through time as they are trying to stop the end of the world. And also there is a second season of the TV show being made right now, and I am very excited for it. And so I would like to read the book before the second season comes out, which that could be like the end of this year or like next year or something, you know? I keep saying this year, but it's not actually 2022 yet. The end of next year, or like the start of 2023 or something. We'll see. Then book number 9 is Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Marina Garcia, and she is most well known for Mexican Gothic, but she has written more books. I think Velvet is the Night and all this, but I'm not really too interested in those kind of like horror stuff. That doesn't really pardon me. But Gods of Jade and Shadow is, I am intrigued by. Number 1, it has a beautiful cover, and number 2, I think, is Mayan mythology, and it is like historical fiction, but it's also fantasy, and I think our main character accidentally releases this Mayan god. Not 100% sure actually. All I know is that they release a Mayan god, and I'm like, I presume try and like stop them? Or maybe, you know, try and cause as much chaos as possible. I don't really know. But I have heard that their writing style is beautiful, and that intrigues me. And then number 2, just this synopsis, the cover, all of that, it really speaks to me, and I want to try it. I'm not really sure about any of the rest of their books, but this one, count me in. And then number 10, which is The Sword of Kaigen by ML Wang. And I believe this is self-published, and it follows a mother who was once trained at this academy but now lives a very quiet life in a town, and I think it is attacked, and she kind of reveals herself as like the soldier she is. And I've heard incredible things about this, about the exploration of motherhood and how she feels and how her view of herself has changed throughout the years and all of that, and I'm like, it sounds incredible. And yeah, so it's one that I'm very interested in picking up, and it is also a standalone, so, you know, standalones are always handy to get so that I'm not starting any more series. So those are the 10 books that I want to read in 2022. And yeah, is there any of these that are also on your TBR? Will you buddy read them? Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!